I am so glad you're here today, and I want to say hi to all my friends. I hope you're having a great week. Okay, so I have my water. This is what I have, a bottle of water, and I have my Welch's peach drink. This is called strawberry peach, and it's so good. And what I like about these, they have zero sugar, and I like pouring them in my water, and it actually helps me to stay hydrated throughout the day. You know, I do drink water, but not as much as I should. So you just open them like this, and then you pour them in your water. You don't have to put the whole packet if you don't want to. You could just put a little bit, depending on, you know, your flavor, what kind. Now they have a bunch of different ones. They have like the Skittles and the Welch's and the Hawaiian Punch, and they have Kool-Aid ones. They have all kind of different ones that would suit your taste. And then you just pour them in like that. Which one is your favorite water flavor? You buy these, they sell them everywhere. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Walmart. Okay, I gotta be careful shaking this because it's gonna spill everywhere. So I was thinking about my wrinkles. The older I'm getting, the more wrinkles I'm getting. I am. And I was thinking about, how important are wrinkles? Are they really important, or should we just really try our best to get rid of them? We live in a nation where the wrinkle cream is very expensive. Not only is it expensive, it's like $1 billion business. Women that are trying to stay young, that are trying to get rid of the crow's feet and the wrinkles like I have. I have them everywhere. I have them on my neck, right? Have them on the corner of my eyes. I have wrinkles. It's just part of my life. So I purchased this wrinkle cream. It's called Wrinkle Expert. What I like about it, it gives some moisture, and it was very inexpensive. I got it for $6.99. It's from L'Oreal, and I actually paid half price. So it was like $3 and change. I'm going to read this verse that I think about every time I see the signs of aging in my life, and it's Proverbs 16:31. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is gained in a righteous life. Okay, and I think that's so important that God emphasizes the gray hair. He says it is a crown of glory. And so many times people apt gray hair as somebody that's just getting old in a nation where people are dyeing their hair or different colors. Now, I do have gray hair that comes out here and there. I still do dye my hair once in a while. Do you dye your hair, or are you someone that has totally decided to let that go? Okay, but I still dye my hair. I'm not there yet. I'm sure I will be, but I'm not there yet. But what I've noticed, I have not dyed my hair as much as I used to. I let it go a little bit more often now than when I used to. Before, I was very set. I would go to the salon, get my hair rinsed, dyed, or whatever it was, and make sure that it was done, and I like it. I like the way it looks when it's dyed. I haven't been feeling so bad about not dyeing my hair as often as I used to, and I think it's coming with age. Being in my 50s now, yes, I'm still young, but I'm not that young. I'm a middle-aged woman, and guess what? I get free coffee at McDonald's, and I get discounts, and I am considered senior citizen. I am. Okay, but how should we feel about that as women? Should that make me feel bad? Should I run out and get Botox and get shots in my face and my lips? Do I think it's the wisest thing to do? I will say no. Do I think it's wise for us to put injections in our face? I will say no. Me personally, I think with that comes consequences. And I think the more that you try to stay young, the older you get, you're going to look older because of everything you're putting into your skin. Wrinkles. Sometimes seeing the wrinkles, you see, with so many filters that we have on our phones, we have learned that getting older is wrong. That getting older or going gray or just enjoying being middle-aged or just enjoying being, you know, in the golden years, that we're not with it if we're not staying young. But the truth of the matter is, we're all going to grow old if God doesn't take us home first. We're all going to get there. And it doesn't matter how young somebody looks, their body will grow old. Why? Through sickness, through different things that come to all of us. Yes, our body grows old. But it doesn't mean that we should neglect ourselves. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't go for a daily walk or maybe a 15-minute walk. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't drink our water. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't have our greens. Because, you know, if we don't do those things, as women in our 50s or our 60s, 70s, 80s, even our 40s, then that's going to be worse for us when we get older. You know, we're just not healthy enough. I don't think the wrinkles is a bad thing. I've learned to accept my wrinkles. I've learned to look myself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm getting older and it's wonderful. You see, because I would not want to go back to being younger. Even though sometimes I say, oh, only if I was younger, I would do it all over different. No, we wouldn't. We would do the same things that we did. Some of them maybe naive things that we did. We probably would still do the same thing over again. Everybody always says, oh, if I could go back, I would do it over again. And I used to say that all the time. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I probably would like that same guy that wasn't the right one for me. Or I probably wouldn't do my homework or maybe do something I shouldn't do. So I don't want to wind back the clock. See, God didn't call us to wind back the clock. He called us to trust Him. He called us to trust Him with the future. But I have seen situations where women are just giving themselves injections, plastic surgery, lifting their faces, and then it just doesn't stop at their 50s. They keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it till they're much older, and then it becomes a problem. And like I said, to each his own. There are some that think it's okay to have a facelift, or they feel it's okay to have corrective cosmetic surgery. And I'm not trying to judge that, because somebody may have a defect or something and they want to fix that defect. With a lot of those things, we don't learn to accept ourselves the way we are, the way God created us. We try to fix what God created already. In my opinion, it doesn't mean that we should just throw caution to the wind and that we should never take care of ourselves. We should never brush our hair. We should never put moisturizer on, or if we want a little bit of makeup. I think makeup is somebody's personal conviction. There are some women that don't wear it at all and they feel great. And I would tell you, sometimes you will see me with makeup on my video, but sometimes I don't have it on and I'm fine with it without it too. I think it just becomes too much when we rely on those things to bring us confidence in who God created us. We need to rely on Him, that even if I don't have it on, that I still know who I am through Him, right? If I rely on those things to make me feel good about myself all the time, then to be honest with you, I won't feel good about myself. So I think it's a personal conviction. Because somebody doesn't wear it doesn't make them a good person. I just have to put that out there. Look, I grew up in a church where the women didn't wear makeup. Well, I didn't wear makeup. I wasn't allowed to. I was older in my teens, and then I was allowed to wear a little mascara, a little lip balm, lipstick, stuff like that. But my mom was a little strict on that, which I'm glad she was. But I see many women growing up and throughout my life that didn't wear makeup, and they wore their hair up and everything like that, which I like wearing my hair up too. But they weren't kind. They weren't very kind. And then I've seen women with makeup that weren't very kind either. So I think sometimes we get hung up on, if you don't do these things, it's what makes you a good person. It's what makes you real. No, what makes you real is you're genuine inside, you're loyal inside, you have a person that has character, you respect others, you work hard, you have a family, you love your family, you love those around you. That's what makes you the person you are. It is not the wrinkle cream. It's not covering my wrinkles that's going to make me special. It's not me pretending to be somebody that I'm not, just to look good in front of others, whether it's wearing my long dresses, no makeup, my hair up. That doesn't make me a Christian. It doesn't make me right with God. It is what's in here. Now, the Bible does talk about modesty. It says, let your modesty be that of a gentle and quiet spirit. Let your modesty be that of a kind woman. It says, not with braided hair or elaborate jewelry. God's not saying that you can never wear braided hair. God's not saying that you can wear a pretty bracelet. He's saying don't let your beauty come from those things. Don't let your beauty come from the wrinkle cream. Don't let your beauty come from that lipstick you put on your lips. Let your beauty come from your inward, quiet, kind, and gentle spirit. So it's things I have learned. When you look at the magazines, when you're standing online at the grocery store, you see these beautiful models on the magazine. When you turn on the television or commercial, it shows the perfect figure with the perfect face. Then we think, oh, you know, I've got wrinkles here. I'm not flawless. But I'm flawless to him. Inside. Because I'm his child. Because I believe in him. That makes me flawless. Oh, am I still a sinner? Of course. Do I still need his grace and mercy every day? Yes, I do. I can't do it without him. But don't compare yourself to others. And if you're getting older like me, or you're getting a little double chin, you know, and your face, you got to lift it. Everything else, you got to lift it, right? Just remember who you are. Enjoy life. Enjoy being older. Enjoy being in those golden years. Enjoy not having to wear makeup. And if you wear it, enjoy it too, but do it modestly. Modestly. Where people look at you and they recognize you. Where you're enhancing that beauty, but you're not doing it in a way. There are people, you know, you've seen it, where they wear so much makeup, but then when they take it off, they look like a totally different person. And I think makeup should be to enhance our beauty. If we want to add a little mascara to kind of plump up our eyelashes, or, you know, a little lip gloss or lipstick, just to give our face some rosy color on a spring day or a summer day. I think that's wonderful. Wearing some moisturizer, even wrinkle moisturizer, just to soften a little bit your skin and have that little soft look. But I think when we count on these things and we think that's all I am, and I can't go out the door if I don't have a full face of makeup. And that's not good for us. Being in our 50s with wrinkles or without, with gray hair or without, we should thank God for who we are and enjoy life. Enjoy making a good recipe. Enjoy reading a good book. Of course, enjoy diving into God's word. Enjoy praying. Talking to him, getting to know him. Enjoy those older years, because that means we're closer to heaven. And just enjoy being you. Sometimes it can be hard when the world is all about the way you look. But I don't think life is all about the way you look. And I think to myself, I think what's really important is our grace. It's our kindness. It's how we treat others. Even with our wrinkles. Enjoy your wrinkles. You've earned them. You've earned those crow feet. You've earned those little wrinkles on the side of your eyes from all the crying you've gone through. You've earned your beauty, your gray hairs. The Bible says it is a crown of glory. So, I'm not saying I'm going to run out tomorrow and I'm letting all my gray hair grow. Not ready there yet. But I do have to say I'm closer. I'm closer, but not worrying about it too much like I used to. Having a little bit of gray and identifying myself as a middle-aged woman, because that's who I am. May God bless you all. I hope you enjoyed wrinkles and being in your 50s, and I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you all in the next video.